Hi, folks. It's Professor Floros again, and this video is going to cover where on Canvas you can find information about the Current Events Questionnaire or CEQ assignment. So I have Canvas in student view. I have closed all of the modules just to make scrolling easier and faster. But you would scroll down past all the content modules, and there's a module on the Current Events Questionnaire. And I'm just going to quickly go through what each of these points are, and then future videos are going to go into the substance of the assignment. So the first thing here is the topic check submission portal. There is a topic check form. So students historically have struggled a little bit to identify events that meet the assignment criteria. And so to avoid working through an assignment that doesn't meet the criteria, we have created this topic check form. And basically what you would do is you would download this form, and it's going to basically ask you to insert what your event is, when it occurred, including the date, and who the international actors are, plus some sources you consulted. Now, this is a PDF form, so when you download it, you also may need to make sure that you have Adobe Acrobat, because that is the best way, if you open it up in Adobe Acrobat, to fill it out so that it saves properly, etc. And so you can download a free copy of Adobe Acrobat if you don't currently have it. After you fill that out, you would go to the topic check portal and you would just upload that form. Your TA or me will see that uploaded, and we will be able to look at it. We will be able to comment on it and give you feedback on whether your topic meets the assignment requirements. Okay, so that is kind of the first step. After you think you've identified a topic, check it with me or your TA to make sure that it meets the assignment requirements. The next section are the documents that you need to, as it says, download and fill out. There is basically the same format, but it explains each piece of the assignment, each question in detail. And then a third document that goes through some of the problems that students have run across in the past and the solution to avoid having that problem. So you can download it or you can just reference it here in Canvas. Okay, so the blank questionnaire, again, I want you to download this, right? The instructions are here. And I just want you, after you've downloaded it and opened it in Word, and on Canvas is a place where if you don't have Microsoft Office as a UIC student, you are entitled to a free version of Microsoft Word. And so please download that so you can work in Word. Download this and then type directly into this Word document. Okay, so you would type in your international event, and then you would put in your sources. And then you would just go through the sheet. Now, I have made each question its own sheet, and I'm doing that to make sure that you don't miss any of the questions. But what that means is you're going to have to scroll through to the end to make sure you have answered all the questions. Okay, and then you get to the bottom and there's nothing else to do. Okay, so there are 5 numerical questions. Please make sure you have submitted answers to all 5. And when I say 5, it's because there is a 1A and a 1B that I am counting part of question 1. Okay, we're going to go through the actual parts of the assignment in future videos, but I also want to show you that this is where you will turn in your CEQs. Now, clearly, I have not yet posted the portal for CEQ 2, which is due at the end of the semester. The rubric is here, and then at the bottom is a place where you can upload your form, and it needs to be in Word document form, .docx or PDF. And then you submit the assignment, and it's going to ask you to assure that this is your own original work. We're going to talk, when we talk about number 5, that there are some acceptable uses of artificial intelligence, but if you click this, it means that you have only used AI in the approved way. You would submit it, and then you're done. If you realize, crap, I made a mistake, that's the wrong copy, then you will get a second attempt to upload a new document. Okay, and then very quickly, why are there complete draft, late, etc.? Well, you have a complete draft that is due on a particular date. Check your syllabus. And there is a grace period, after which, if you turn in the assignment after that date, there will be a late penalty. So what I have done is this complete draft and the rewrite, if necessary, will be open for your submission until the end of that grace period. Okay? If you do not submit it by the end of the grace period, the main submission portal will go away. And what you will only have is the late version. Now, the late version is worth 90% of the grade, so you should still turn it in late. But this will make it easier for the TA to know, like, not having to calculate, did they make the grace period? Did they not make the grace period? If you're able to submit it here, then that means you're within the grace period. It's worth full credit. If this is not available and you only have the late option, then that means that you have missed the grace period. Please still turn it in, but it is only worth 90%. The rewrite is only necessary if you do not like the grade you received on your complete draft. If you are good with your complete draft grade, do not turn in a rewrite, okay? The way that this is set up in Canvas Gradebook, the highest score of all 4 of these is what will count. So if you get a 70 here and a 92 here, then the 92 is what's going to count for CEQ 1 grade, right? If you get a 95 here and don't turn anything else in, then your 95 will count. Okay, so therefore, if you are happy with your grade, you don't need to turn anything else in. If you do not do as well as you had hoped on your complete draft, you can rewrite it. And there is a due date for the rewrite with a grace period. And if you are late turning in the rewrite, again, there will be this late option, but it is only worth 90%. Okay. Additionally, there are some tools. There's a CEQ exemplar, which I will go through in another video, a previous student who did a really good and thorough job on their CEQ. And so I will show that as an exemplar. And I will go through some of these in more detail as well. I've also included links to world news podcasts. So if you are interested in keeping up with world news, you might want to subscribe to one of these services, and then you can hear what's going on, and it can give you ideas for events to pick. Okay, so that is just a quick overview of where everything is in Canvas. And now we will move on to the substance of how you do this assignment.